Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. For this video, I will explain the chapter 6 of macroeconomics. It covers the macroeconomic problems, consists of unemployment and also inflation. So, I will divide this video into two parts. The first part is on the unemployment problem and the second part is for inflation problem. Okay, let's look at the learning objective. So for the first part, I will cover this objective. The first one to describe the concept of unemployment. The second one to identify the types of unemployment. And the third one to calculate the unemployment rate. And the last one, determine the effects of unemployment as well as the measures to control the unemployment problem. Unemployment. Here is the definitions that I get from the Department of Statistics in Malaysia. According to Department of Statistics Malaysia, labor force refers to those who during the reference week are in the 15 to 16 years, which is in completed years at last birthday, and who are either employed and also unemployed. Okay, those who are in between 15 to 16 years who are either employed or unemployed considered as a labor force. And for those who employed refers to all person, okay, in between 15 to 64 years at any time during the reference week work at least 1 hour for pay, profit or family gain as an employer or employee or own account worker or unpaid family worker. So all those people considered as employed. Okay, it is also considered as employed who are person who didn't work during the reference week because of illness, injury, bad weather, leave, but had a job, farm, enterprise on or other family enterprise to return to. Also included are those on temporary layoff with pay who would definitely be called back to work. These are the person who are employed. And for unemployed refers to those who do not have a job but are interested to work. There are two groups of unemployed, that is actively unemployed and also inactively unemployed. Okay, so before you understand the unemployment problem, you have to identify or you have to know what is the labor force, employed and also unemployed. And now, let's look at the definitions of unemployment rate. Unemployment rate is the percentage of the labor force that is unemployed and actively seeking the job. Okay, this person don't have the job. Okay, unemployed, didn't work, but active seeking for the job. A discouraged worker is an individual who wants to work but has been unsuccessful for a long period in finding a job and has given up seeking job. Okay, that is considered as discouraged worker. For underemployment, an individual who works part-time or who are in jobs below their capability but who are seeking full-time employment. For example, those who have the bachelor degree but work as a part-time cashier in the supermarket or as a cleaner who doesn't require him to have a bachelor degree. Okay, and for the full employment, the situation in the economy where all available resources are employed to produce goods and services. Okay, so that is full employment. This one we already covered in the chapter 1, which is the one of the macroeconomic objective. Every nation has to achieve full employment where all the available resources have to be employed. Okay, so here is the statistic for the labor force in Malaysia in October 2022. Okay, as you can see here, the labor force in October in Malaysia 16.68 million. Okay, there is 0.2% increase from September 2022, which is 16.66 million. And the labor force participation rate is 69.7%. And for unemployment rate in October compared to September, okay, for October 2022, the unemployment rate in Malaysia is 3.6%, okay, as compared to September also in the same figure, which is 3.6%. Okay, let's look at the employed person. So here for employed person in October, it is 16.08 million. Okay, out of the labor force. Labor force is 16.68, and out of the labor force 16.68, around 16.08 million who are employed. So 0.6 million only, around 600,000 who unemployed. Okay, so here is the percentage of the employed person by status. For example, for employees, 75.9%, own account workers who has the business, 17.6%, employers 3.4%, and unpaid family workers 3.1%. Okay, out of this, we have outside labor force, which is around 7.24 million. So this is the outside labor force. Okay, here is the statistic for the third quarter. Last slide is for October 2022. This one is for the third quarter. So for the third quarter, unemployment rate in the third quarter of 2022 declined to 3.7%, meaning that it's until September. Okay, third quarter, July, August, and September. So the lowest rate since pandemic, registering 611.8 thousand. So here is the labor force and also employed data. And you can see here the labor force rate is by quarterly, from first quarter 2019 until quarter 3 2022. So here you can see the amount of the labor force downwards and keep increasing until third quarter 2022. And for the employed, you can see here the green one is for male in million, and the orange one is for female in million. So for unemployment rate, okay, you can see here the unemployment rate by quarter in 2019 is about 3.3% first quarter, and it drastically increased in the second quarter 2022 from 3.5 up to 5.1, and then slightly decreased until third quarter to 3.7%. So we can see here the unemployment rate has decreased since second quarter 2020. And also this one is the underemployment. Okay, so this data I got from the Department of Statistics in Malaysia. You can check it out in the website for the latest data. Okay, here is the unemployment rate from 1999 to 2019. Okay, as you can see here, The lowest is in 2014 and sharply increased 2016, and for 2019 biannual statistic, the unemployment rate is 3.4%. Okay, now let's look at the how to calculate the unemployment rate. Okay, to get the unemployment rate is number unemployed divided by labor force times 100%. Okay, because the unemployment rate is in the percentage. Alright, so here let's look at the example of first quarter 2019, fourth quarter 2019, and first quarter 2020. So here, to get the employed, okay, the labor force is the summation of employed and unemployed. And for unemployment rate, the number of unemployed divided by labor force. The percentage of unemployed out of the labor force called as unemployment rate. Let's look at the types of unemployment. We have 6 types of unemployment. The first one is classical unemployment. The second one is frictional unemployment. The third one, seasonal unemployment, structural unemployment, technological unemployment, and cyclical unemployment. Look at one by one. For the first, classical unemployment, it is called as classical unemployment. This type of unemployment arise, okay, why the person is unemployed. Okay, this type of unemployment arise when trade unions drive wages in excess of the market clearing level, resulting in a fall in demand for labor. Okay, trade union such as the workers union. Okay, trade unions usually negotiate to increase real wages, causing classical unemployment. Okay, classical unemployment also caused by government minimum wage. To reduce classical unemployment, government has to control trade unions to prevent wage increments. Okay, for example, in certain company, we have the union. Okay, for example, kalau in Malaysia we have QPAX. Okay, QPAX is an organization that negotiate to increase real wage. Okay, QPAX bagi cadangan untuk menambahkan ada pertambahan gaji. Okay, for example, pertambahan gaji. Supposedly, in market, the wage is here. So, at this level, the demand of labor and supply for labor is at equilibrium. Okay, no excess in labor or shortage in labor. But if the union asks or negotiate to for a wage increment, for example, real wage could be here. Okay, for example, 1,000, and then the real wage is 2,000. At 2,000 real wage, what happen? Supply of labor will be more. Okay, makin ramai orang yang nak mencari kerja. This one is supply of labor. Ramai orang nak cari kerja. Ramai penganggur nak mencari kerja. So, it can be here. But demand of labor, company who demand for labor could be here because an increase in the cost of wages. Okay, company akan mengurangkan pekerja kerana kos yang meningkat untuk membayar gaji pekerja. So, the demand of labor would be here. What happen will lead to unemployment problem. Okay, same goes to government minimum wage. For example, in Malaysia now, the minimum wage is 1,500. Okay, based on demand and supply, limited company and the excess of the supply of labor, the equilibrium, okay, the wage, the equilibrium wage could be maybe at 1,000, okay? Based on demand and supply of labor, gaji pekerja mungkin akan jadi at 1,000 only. But the government increase the minimum wage is at 2,000. No, 4,500. So what will happen? At this level, the supply of labor would be here and the demand of labor could be here. So unemployment will arise at this level. Okay, the second type of unemployment is frictional unemployment. Okay, the frictional unemployment refers to short-term or temporary unemployment which occurs when people enter the labor market to look for jobs or people leave their jobs either voluntarily or asked to go and are unemployed for a period of time. Okay, frictional includes new entrants such as school leavers, fresh graduates, and re-entrants such as people who quit their job for a better position or higher wage of former home takers. Okay, this kind of unemployment arise when the people who are entering the labor force, for example, school leavers. Okay, school leavers who are enter the labor force. Okay, for example, graduates. Okay, you are graduates from diploma or bachelor, and then you during as a student you are out of the labor force, and when you graduate you are entering the labor force. This one is frictional unemployment. Or re-entrance. Re-entrance, for example, a person quit, okay, already in the labor force, and then he or she quit from the job. For example, seorang wanita berkahwin, so quit from the job, and then for 1 year maybe she wants to get the job again, okay, nak masuk balik kerja. So this kind of situation is re-entrance, re-enter the labor force. Dia dah ada dalam labor force and then dia hold dulu, tak masuk dalam berhenti kerja, tapi bila sampai satu masa nak masuk balik. So this is type of re-entrance. Okay, who quit the job for a better position or higher wages of former home takers, or people who are you quit for a job and then apply for a new job that has better position ataupun better gaji. Okay, so this kind of unemployed is frictional unemployment. The third one is seasonal unemployment. This occurs when certain product cannot be produced during certain season. Hence, many workers are temporarily laid off on a short-term basis during certain times of the year. It results from a regular fluctuation in weather conditions, climatic changes, or changes in the trend of demand. Okay, seasonal fluctuation is in unemployment occurs in construction workers who will be unemployed during rainy season, ataupun fishermen who are unable to fish during monsoon season or in winter, and tourist workers who are unemployed during peak off periods in some tourist areas. Okay, for example, sekarang ni kan musim tengkujuh. So, fishermen tidak boleh ke laut, unemployed for this time. Okay, masa musim tengkujuh. Ataupun pulau, turis guide yang membawa ke pulau-pulau tutup daripada bulan Oktober sehingga March. Jadi, during that time, ia adalah temporarily laid off. Tidak bekerja pada musim tengkujuh. Okay. Sama juga musim, apa-apa musim berkaitan dengan musim kemarau, drought, ataupun farmer musim hujan pun tak boleh nak bercucuk tanam, or musim perayaan, okay. Contohnya pembuat baju raya. So masa raya sahaja, masa dekat nak raya sahaja, dia ada kerja. Musim tak ada raya, tak ada kerja. Okay, so that is seasonal unemployment. structural unemployment. So structural unemployment is results from structural decline of industries unable to compete or adapt to changing demand and new products or changing methods of production. A change in the pattern of demand results when tastes change, demographic profile change, or introduction of new products or technology may have made the existing product obsolete. Hence, skills or workers are no longer suitable with the jobs available. Okay, structural unemployment ni lebih kurang dengan technological unemployment. This person or these people unemployed because of the change in the structure of the economy. For example, daripada structure agriculture and then so agriculture industries tu bertukar kepada manufacturing industries. So the farmer cannot adapt with the job in manufacturing industries. Jadi kat situ ada mismatch of the skills of the workers. Farmers tidak boleh bekerja di kilang, for example. Okay, ataupun perubahan dari segi yang tu tadi demographic profile change ataupun introduction of new products or technology, okay, have made the existing product obsolete. For example, contoh apa ya, kilang pembuatan sebelum ni menggunakan mesin yang mungkin half manual and then sekarang ni robotic, for example. Jadi pertukaran structure dalam kilang tu sendiri menyebabkan dia unemployed. Okay, so itu adalah contoh for structural unemployment. Dia lebih kurang, okay, slightly similar to the technological unemployment. Okay, for technological unemployment arise from labor saving technique of production or new technology which requires workers with different sets of skill. Okay, the worker who lost their jobs will have to acquire new skills and the government can help by providing retraining or reskilling programs. Okay, for example, in banking system, now if you go to the bank, only one or two counters for teller. Okay, anything you have to use banking, online banking, for example. Okay, online banking, Maybank to you. Ataupun sekarang dah pakai benda macam e-wallet dah. Okay, dari segi touch and go. Kita dah pakai RFID, smart tag. So, no need the toll gate. And then, mana-mana kilang pun dah bertukar kepada robotik. Okay, di Klang Valley, banyak restoran dalam F&B industries dah tukarkan waiter tu kepada robot. Jadi, no need for waiter to serve the meals to the customer. Hanya bagi robot, set je robot tu akan hantar terus kepada meja. Certain meja di restoran tu. Okay. So, itu akan menyebabkan people unemployed. And the last one is cyclical unemployment. Is caused by a lack of demand in the downswing of the business cycle or recession. Okay, that is happened in few years back. Okay, sejak daripada pandemic okay, during pandemic, most of the industry tutup. Okay, masa PKP, most industries terpaksa ditutup and then because of that lack of demand yang menyebabkan company tu tak boleh nak survive and then to survive ataupun to reduce, to minimize the cost, the employer have to lay off the workers. Okay, it exists because there is a recessionary gap forcing business to lay off large numbers of workers to cut costs. Okay, for example, dalam airline industry, okay, few years back, masa pandemic tahun 2020, AirAsia, Malindo lay off thousands of staff of the crews, okay, untuk cut costs. Okay, during the downswing of the trade cycle, aggregate demand falls and via the multiplier effect, national income fall further. So, consumption falls, production reduce, companies may close down and workers are laid off, resulting cyclical unemployment. Okay, it is from the cycle. If you still remember the business cycle, the trough, recovery, peak or boom, and then recession. So at this level, it's a downswing of the business cycle, which lead to cyclical unemployment. Okay, I think I have to stop down at this part. Okay, I just continue. Okay, let's continue. The effects of unemployment. Okay, kesan-kesan pengangguran. Okay, this one it's not really important, but you have to know if unemployment problem happen in our country, so what would be the effect on individual or society ataupun on the economy. Okay, for individual, it will lead to low self-esteem. Okay, once the people unemployed, dia akan depression, dia akan rasa low confidence because no income. Jadi lack of income of course, lack of skills. Okay, bila you dah bekerja and then bila you dah unemployed, skills you masa bekerja tu dah hilang. Okay, jadi akan efek kepada individual, mental and physical. Okay, kepada society pun sama. Okay, akan berlakunya crime rate. Sebab kebanyakan most of the people unemployed and no income. So to survive in their life, they have to do criminal such as mencuri, merompak, okay, to survive. Jadi crime rate akan increase. Itu effect unemployment. And effect kepada ekonomi, kurangnya economic growth, okay, lower economic growth sebab ramai pekerja, ramai sumber-sumber labor yang tidak bekerja, yang tak ada income. So daripada situ kurangnya income tax. Okay, income tax akan berkurang dan secara tak langsung ekonomi akan down. Okay, so that is the effect of unemployment. And the last part of this is measures to control. How to control? Jadi unemployment tu each government cannot let the unemployment rate as high as possible. Tak boleh. So government should do something to reduce unemployment rate. Okay, jadi we have several measures to control the unemployment. The first one is direct control measures, monetary policy, and also fiscal policy. And for this one, we have covered in the chapter 4, and for this fiscal policy also we have covered in the chapter 5. Dan untuk direct control, apa yang directly control the unemployment. For example, for direct control, provide training and education. Jadi kalau kita tengok sebelum ni kerajaan kita ada menyediakan skim latihan, skim latihan satu Malaysia. And then ada MyStep. Ada yang terbaru ni My Protege. So setiap graduates diberi peluang untuk intern industrial training dekat certain GLC, and then government bagi allowance dalam 1,500 or 1,800 for certain period dalam setengah tahun ke setahun. So daripada situ, if the performance getting better, so mungkin dia akan diserapkan kepada GLC itu sendiri. Okay, itu dari segi provide training and education. Or job creation, okay, they create the job to give the job to more people. And development of new land, for example, Ketengah, Kesedah, Risda, Felda. Okay, so develop new land, jadi dia akan provide more job opportunities. In terms of monetary policy, to control unemployment, we will for open market operation by the government securities. So when the central bank buy government securities from the firm or from the commercial bank ataupun from the public, it will create the or it will increase the money supply in the economy. So the loan, the people easy to get the loan from the commercial bank, and then they will create business, okay, open business, and will indirectly will provide more job opportunities. Sama juga ataupun you loan mudah dapat, and then untuk spend, okay, aggregate demand will increase, and this will demand more goods and services. So the firms ataupun the business will provide more, okay, will supply more goods and services. Then they have to hire more workers to meet the production, okay. Itu dari segi open market operation. Dari segi reserve requirement, lowering the reserve requirement, lowering interest rate and lowering discount rate. So all those instrument, monetary policy instrument, dia akan increase the money supply. Okay. Dan secara langsung duit dalam ekonomi ni banyak, dia akan membuka peluang pekerjaan, dan secara tak langsung unemployed akan berkurang. And then for fiscal policy, government should increase the government expenditure in terms of bantuan BKN, BPN ataupun wage subsidies, okay, to the companies. Jadi dia akan membuka peluang pekerjaan. And decrease in tax, okay. Bila decrease in tax, for personal income tax, when the government reduce in tax, the disposable income will increase. Jadi dia akan create more aggregate demand. Bila more aggregate demand, company pun akan produce more sebab ramai orang nak barang. Jadi untuk meet the requirement ataupun meet the production, dia akan hire more workers. Okay, so all these measures will reduce the unemployment rate. Okay, so that's all for this part. Nanti kita jumpa next part for inflation. Okay, bye-bye.